Now we're going to make a great side dish that's really popular all throughout Turkey. It's an olive oil dish, or zeytinyağlı yemek, and it's called pilaki. Pilaki is beans with different types of vegetables and a delicious sauce, and it's really easy to make, and I'm going to tell you our ingredients right now. So all the time when you have olive oil dish, you always need sugar. So we need a teaspoon of sugar, 5 cloves of garlic. Now I don't want this crushed, I want it chopped because it gives it a much better flavor. You need some salt, a teaspoon of tomato paste, half a cup of corn oil, 1 onion chopped, 3 carrots chopped, 2 potatoes cubed chopped, and 2 cans of either the red kidney beans, white kidney beans, and of course some dill to garnish. So we want our skillet to get really nice and hot, and then we're going to pour our corn oil in. So now our oil is nice and hot. We're just going to put in our onions and let that sizzle. Now sometimes when you're making Turkish cuisine, you need the onions finely chopped or grated. As you know, I like to grate my onions. When you make an olive oil dish, it's always nice when the chop is really nice and chunky. You want to feel that onion in there. You could already smell the onions coming up. I mean, who doesn't like the smell of cooking onions? And now we're going to add our garlic. Now I've used cloves here, about 5, but I use big cloves because I like a lot of garlic. But again, you could just eyeball it, use your judgment. You'll always find some variation of this at many different Turkish restaurants. Now it's time for our sugar. Just like a light teaspoon. Just sprinkle it around. This is a good time to add some salt. And if you want, you could add some pepper too. I think salt is just fine. Just caramelize that up, and you can see it's getting really nice and hot. You want to do this for about 2 minutes. Just stay by it. Make sure that they don't brown too much or that they don't burn. You want it to get really nice and cooked. So you could already see the orange giving it a really great color. This is a delicious dish. I mean, I remember when we were in Turkey, again, I always talk about Turkey when I went. I usually go in the summer because that's when everybody's off, and that's when my uncles have their summer houses, and everybody gets together every day. But we went to the Turan Palace. Now the Turan Palace used to be a palace where kings used to live, and now they've renovated it and changed it into a hotel. And it's actually one of the most beautiful hotels. I mean, when the presidents of the United States, when they go to Turkey, they usually stay there in the Sultan Suite, which they literally have a palace section that's where the kings used to live. A gorgeous penthouse. I mean, I've only seen pictures, obviously. I've never been in there, but they have a great Sunday brunch. It's like Sunday from 11 to 3. And the great thing about the Turan Palace is that it's on the Bosphorus Sea. So even if you had a boat or a yacht, as they had in those days, you could pull up to these big white gates, and then you see this gorgeous like terrace with these stairs, and it's so regal and so beautiful. It's like people get married there. Oh, that would be beautiful, right? Bride and groom running down those stairs. So they have a great brunch there that I went with my family. And now I'm going to just add my potatoes, which, as you can see, I like to soak them in water so that they don't turn color. Just slowly add them in and cook them. So we went with my family to the Turan Palace, and we had brunch. And the brunch is an open buffet, so it's all you can eat. And they have pilaki there, but they have Barbunya pilaki. Now, really, pilaki is made with the barbunya, which barbunya is a type of bean. It's red, and it's plump, and it's really juicy. But here it's not that easy to find, so we use kidney beans. You could use the white kidney beans, or I like to use the red ones sometimes because it kind of looks like the barbunya. So it kind of makes me think like I'm eating a very authentic meal. So they had a great dish of the barbunya. It was so plump and juicy with the dill and the carrots. Oh my God. Now while you're turning this around, waiting for it to cook, sometimes I do like to add a little olive oil because it does give it that great flavor. Not too much because you don't want it to be too heavy, but you want it to give it a nice shine and a nice, delicious flavor. Sometimes I just like to add a little bit. Now's a great time to add in our tomato paste. Now you don't have to add too much, just a teaspoon. It's gonna give it a great orangey reddish color. Now because we're using the beans from the can, you don't have to put them in till the very end. So once you see this is cooking, this is sizzling nice and hot, you're gonna take 2 cups of boiling water. Just pour it in, let that come to a boil. Then once it's boiling, you're gonna cover it and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. So it already seems like it's boiling now. We're just gonna lower it, cover, and let it simmer. So it's been about 15 minutes. We've been letting our mixture simmer. Now we're just gonna add in our beans. Here I have 2 cans of the red kidney beans, but like I said before, you can use the white. You can even use a mixture of the two. It gives it a really nice color. And because these are canned, you could just let it cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. You don't have to let it cook too long because they're already pre-cooked. Now if you wanted to do it fresh, you could just soak them overnight and then let them cook for about 30 or 40 minutes. That's how you get them really nice and tender. So once you add this in, you want to bring it to a boil. Cover it back up, lower your heat, and let it simmer for another 5 to 7 minutes. Now our pilaki is cooked. I could turn it off, and I'm going to chop up our dill. Dill is an essential part of the pilaki. It gives it a great flavor and color. So I have some washed and dried dill over here, and you just want to give it a chop. It doesn't have to be too fine of a chop. Just you want to be able to sprinkle it on all on top. It gives it a really great flavor, and you're going to have to chop some more up for the garnish as well. Now you don't have to cook it because it's already so hot in here that the steam is going to cook the dill in itself. Just want to sprinkle it all on top. And then we can get our serving tray, which I have right here. And we're going to garnish it with some more dill once it's done. So you just want to take a nice wooden spoon. See, I have this really beautiful plate. I actually bought this plate in Turkey at the Grand Bazaar. Like I said, they have great souvenir shops over there. They even have great jewelry. So if you ever want to buy jewelry, you gotta go to the Grand Bazaar. And you can bargain too. So don't take the first deal that they offer. Bargain, bargain, bargain. And then we're gonna garnish with a little bit of dill, because it makes a perfect ending to a delicious treat. So this is a great side dish that's gonna go great with our shish kebab that's been marinating in the fridge. And when we come back, we're gonna get ready to start grilling it.